What is going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for April 17th, 2023. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining me right here on your Monday nights, wherever you may be. Raw was Raw. That's basically what I have to say here. Raw was Raw. It was just your normal episode of Monday Night Raw. It wasn't really anything too special to me, at least. It was very unimportant. It was a very just, it was mid. It was a mid show. I did not really care for most of the show, to be completely honest tonight. The only good thing about Monday Night Raw tonight to me was fucking the Brock and Cody segment. That to me was fantastic. And the only other thing to me that I thought was, somewhat decent was the six-man tag. Six-man tag. But other than that, guys, I really did not care for the show. I didn't really care for it. Backlash is legitimately like next week. And with the WWE draft just around the corner, they're not really caring about anything as of right now. They're not going to give us any new feuds. They're not going to give us any new storylines heading into the WWE draft, because after the WWE draft is when we're actually going to be able to kick things in gear, So we're just coasting basically until we get to WWE Backlash. And that's basically what I can get from WWE tonight and from WWE this, just going through the motions as we head into WWE Backlash, because we're just going through the motions and we're just coasting. That's basically what we're doing, and that's just how we're going to be doing things until after the draft and until after Backlash. So it is what it is, but we're going to be talking about everything that happened on Monday Night Raw tonight in a very, very concise detail, mainly because of the fact I am freaking tired. This show got me so tired tonight for no reason. What's up, Deontay? Yeah, this show got me so tired for absolutely no reason. Not much happened on this show tonight, and I'm just gonna go through this in a very, very concise detail, and just get through the show, and we're gonna talk about everything that happened, and we'll get through tonight's episode of the Monday Night Raw post show right here on OTB. But before we do, I do want to thank you guys so much for joining me right here tonight on OTB. It's not like I want to do this alone, honestly, but it's I kind of want to just get through this. I'm very tired, so I'm going to just do this in the very concise detail, like I said. We'll get through what we need to get through tonight for the Raw post show, and I'm going to fuck the bed because this show got me so tired. This was a very unimportant episode of Raw, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to talk to you guys about it all. So follow me on social media. All the TikTok links that everybody's associated with is down in the description below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at PhillyMet_. Thank you to our sponsor, SeatGeek, for sponsoring today's episode. You guys can go to SeatGeek and use the code OTB at checkout, and you guys get $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. So that's a great deal, and we absolutely love SeatGeek for partnering up with the channel. And yeah, go use SeatGeek today. OTB at checkout for your first purchase gets you $20 off. So thank you. And we love having SeatGeek over here and being a part of the OTB family. Go get the merch. We have merch over there on Teespring for the OTB podcast as itself. We got Loft having a merch store, and myself having a merch store. And if you use the code Red Raven, you guys can go get 20% off your orders today. So use the code Red Raven and get yourself some PhilCon merchandise directly from me. So thank you so much for being a supporter of the channel. We love each and every single one of you guys on the road to 1K. And we are going to talk everything Monday Night Raw from tonight. So let's get started. So we started off with the Bloodline. The Bloodline is here. The Bloodline is in your city. And we see everything happening tonight here in Little Rock, Arkansas. We go live and we see the Bloodline making their entrance with Paul Heyman. Tonight, Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes will be building up towards Zara's match at Backlash. Seth Rollins takes on The Miz. Theory takes on Bobby Lashley, and much more. So the Blood's in the ring, and the crowd is loudly booing them. Jay says that Little Rock, Arkansas, the Bloodline is in your city. Paul Heyman then receives a microphone from Jay, and Heyman says, "Ladies," and Scott said that there could be any ladies in Little Rock. Heyman introduces himself and says that he is the special counsel for the Tribal Chief, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Heyman also honored to be the wise man of the entire Bloodline. Heyman has information for tonight. The Judgment Day's music hits, cuts him off, and Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and the SmackDown Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, make their way to the ring. Judgment Day stand on the apron and stares down at the Bloodline. They get in the ring and stand across from them. Damian says, "Paul," and walks over to Solo Sikoa. Heyman holds Solo back and keeps him calm. Heyman then shakes the hand of Damian Priest, and Heyman says that it's a very good day to be a very bad guy. If there is a heaven, none of them are ever going to be going into it. A short-term deal was arranged by the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Jey Uso says that they weren't in any of those conversations. They have no idea what he is talking about. But Heyman says that the Tribal Chief didn't want anybody on their side except for Solo Sikoa to know. The Tribal Chief wanted the Usos to be caught off guard by the enormity of this short-term deal. Even Mr. Balor is not happy about this because of his deep-rooted anger issues with the Bloodline, and Heyman does not blame him for that. Balor will put his feelings aside for the short term, and the Judgment Day has a Bad Bunny concern. Solo is an expert assuring concerns. Rhea Ripley stares a hole through Sikoa, so Heyman asks Jay to switch positions with him. Ripley then moved over along with Solo Sikoa to keep them staring at each other. A Rhea chant started to pick up, and Heyman asks if everything is okay. Ripley leans over and simply says, "For now." The Ripley and Sikoa thing, that's fantastic. I love that. Heyman then says that your Judgment Day need something taken care of in Bad Bunny, so we'll take care of that before their concerns become a problem. The Bloodline has problems. They have the Kevin Owens problem, they have the Sami Zayn problem, and they have a riddle to solve. At Backlash, there will be a 6-man tag team match with KO, Sami, and Matt Riddle taking on the Bloodline, and they will have a tune-up to Backlash by facing the Judgment Day. Also, tonight, so Sikoa will be facing a Hall of Famer in Rey Mysterio. Heyman apologizes to Dominic for having to see him in person. Rey Mysterio then makes his way to the ring, and we get the match between Solo and Rey Mysterio. Not a bad segment. Not a bad segment at first. We started off pretty good here. The fact of the matter is, I understand what they're trying to do, right? Uh, Roman, he he basically recruited the Judgment Day in order to take care of the problems that the Bloodline honestly just could not solve in the first place. So they said, you know what, fuck it, we'll have the Judgment Day do it instead. And the Judgment Day weren't even able to do it. Um, so Sikoa took care of Rey Mysterio tonight. That was easily going to be the case. Solo was not losing this match. Um, Solo and Rey Mysterio was a good match. I'm not saying it was a bad match by any means, but we all know that Solo Sikoa was going to win this match. Um, these matches really did not make sense in the grand scheme of things, but I technically understood it only because Roman, he basically recruited the Judgment Day in order to take care of the problems. So there we go. But Solo Sikoa was able to pick up a victory over Rey Mysterio tonight. Jimmy and Jay make their way to the ringside area, who distracts Mysterio. All of a sudden, the LWO, Santos, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wild come through the crowd to attack them. In the ring, Sikoa tries to attack Mysterio, but Mysterio knocks him into the ropes. Mysterio connects with a 619 and immediately goes to the top rope for a splash, but Sikoa moves, and then Sikoa followed up with a Samoan Spike for the win. The Bloodline then attack Mysterio and the LWO. Del Toro and Escobar each take a Samoan Spike. Mysterio then eats a 1D from the Usos, and the Bloodline stands tall over the LWO. So it was a decent match between Sikoa and Mysterio. It picked up in the end, honestly, and with the whole LWO involvement and everything like that, uh, the Bloodline still were able to stand tall in the end. So, um, it is what it is. They are building Sikoa to be a main event star, and I love that. I don't know if this is like a test, just to test the waters when it comes to Solo Sikoa to see if he can hang it with the big boys and be a part of that main event caliber uh, part of the card. But if this is some sort of test because he's been going at it with a lot of top guys in this company, he's passing this test with flying colors. So good for him, honestly. Good for Solo. I love Solo Sikoa. I've always liked Solo Sikoa. So this is great. This is great for him, and we'll see where things go from here. I actually really do like the way that they're handling Solo. So I like it. Earlier today, WWE official Adam Pearce was stuck listening to Chad Gable and Maxine Dupree argue over Otis. Otis stood in the middle of them, of course, and he was just saying nothing. He was just standing there. Um, Gable was trying to say that Alpha Academy is a package deal. Dupree was trying to say that Otis could be the face of either Raw or SmackDown. And Adam Pearce is just not having any of it. So he's like, listen, I'll take it under advisement. Just get the hell out of here. And they did. They all did. So I really don't care. I don't care about this Otis thing. As much as people actually do like it, I just really don't care for it. It's not my thing. It's never really going to be my thing. I like Otis. I like Gable. I think the maximum male models are funny, but I really don't care. Like, I just don't care for it. So, we move on, honestly. It is what it is. Last Monday on Raw, we saw the dissension between Damage Control start because of an opportunity for the Raw Women's Championship. Io Sky won the future title match in the triple threat for the number one contendership. And the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair made her way to the ring so that she can face Dakota Kai. We come back from commercial break and we see that that we're gonna have this match: Dakota Kai versus Bianca Belair. Again, not a bad match. I'm not saying like these matches are bad by any means. I think these matches have been honestly pretty good, right? Obviously, they're a lot better than the last few weeks of Monday Night Raw, mainly because of the fact that the first Raw after WrestleMania only had like about 3 minutes of in-ring action. Compared to this, I mean, I'm fine with this. Like, this is great. And Dakota Kai really gave it her all against Bianca. But I don't care. I just don't care for this right now. Only because of the fact that Io's most likely losing at Backlash if that's where she's gonna have the match. I mean, that's the only place that it makes sense to do it. And honestly, Bianca Belair is she's just gonna continue to win anyway. And we don't know what's gonna happen with her in the Raw Women's Championship after the fact. The Raw Women's Championship and the Raw Women's Division is completely just, stagnant. The women's division as a whole is stagnant, so we don't know what the hell is going on between any of the women in this company. Damage Control is dead. Bianca Belair's title reign is dead, for all we know. What's happening? What's happening? And what's happening with the rest of the women? I'm sorry, but that's exactly just how it is. Sorry, I'm coming down under the weather if you guys can't tell. But yeah, I don't care. I don't care for the women's division in this company unless they actually do something a little bit more decent. I like it is what it is. So Kai charges, but Belair counters with a Total World Gutbuster. Belair and Kai fumble into a KOD attempt, but Kai lands on her feet and holds her braid. Belair then knocks her back and goes for a double chicken wing slam, but Kai rolls through and sends her into the turnbuckle. Kai then grabs Belair, but Belair quickly came back and hit her with a KOD for the win. So Bianca Belair got the win there. There was not much to this match, honestly. I don't know what else to say anymore, honestly. I loved Damage Control at the start. They were so, like, they really could have been something special. And they just flopped. They just flopped. Hopefully Io has a great presence when she does face against Bianca Belair. I highly doubt she wins. If she does win, I would be ecstatic, honestly. But if we're getting through the whole thing about Damage Control just, splitting up, it's most likely not going to happen. And they're just going to split up and detract anyway. So who knows? But it is what it is. Hopefully she has a great presence, and hopefully she has a great match with Belair. But in the end, I got to figure out what the hell they're doing with the women's division first before we even go anywhere further. So, the American Nightmare is up next, and this was fantastic. But before we got there, Judgment Day is backstage. Damian says that he won't be Bad Bunny's friend next week. Dominic says that Priest doesn't need Bad Bunny as a friend, just like he doesn't need Rey Mysterio as his father. Paul Heyman walks over and asks if they are satisfied. Finn says, eh. And Heyman is flabbergasted. He tells them to give an performance against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle in tonight's main event, or they'll be in debt to the Tribal Chief. Priest says that they always handle their business. SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley then gets in Heyman's face and says, "Bye, Paul." And then Heyman walked off and called Roman Reigns. So then we got Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes is fantastic as always, and I really don't care what anybody else says. Cody Rhodes is just great. So Cody Rhodes, he's just pissed off, as he should be, considering that he got unprovokedly attacked by the Beast Incarnate. Um, he makes his way to the ring. Rhodes is in his gear. He's looking for a fight. The crowd gives a great ovation, and Cody says, quote, "So, Little Rock, what do you want to talk about?" Rose knows exactly what he wants to talk about and talk to. Rose called out Brock Lesnar. WWE official Adam Pearce walks out to the ring, and Pearce says that he appreciates the spirit of Cody Rhodes, but we're not doing this here tonight. Pearce says that that they all respect what he wants to do, but Rhodes is not medically cleared to be here tonight, which is complete bullshit. He was standing right there. He looked perfectly fine. So, medically cleared, bullshit. um, so, he asked Cody Rhodes to leave. The crowd booed. Rhodes shakes hands with Pearce and leaves the ring. Then he thought twice about it. He turns back and he grabs a steel chair from under the ring before getting back into the ring, shouting at Pearce that he wants Brock Lesnar. Pearce begs Rhodes just to listen to him and not to the fans. And Pearce says that if he won't listen, he'll have help to get him to the back. So he asks security to come down and help Cody outside the ring. Brock's music hits, and we got a big ovation from the crowd. Pearce tells Rhodes not to do this. Brock Lesnar comes out in a cowboy hat and a black trench coat, looking like the Wish version of the Undertaker. And Pearce says, listen, he'll give Rhodes the match against Lesnar at May 6th at WWE Backlash if he doesn't do it tonight. Pearce tells him that he'd rather have him do it in Puerto Rico at Backlash and not tonight. From the stage, Lesnar keeps on challenging Rhodes to do something about it, to fight him, and Rhodes attacks the security guards with the steel chair and wipes out the entire force. Lesnar nods in approval on the stage to accept the challenge. And I'm telling you right now, there had to have been at least 37 guards. There had to have been at least 37 security guards just trying to, keep Rhodes at bay. It was not working. It was not working at all. Cody Rhodes continued to just go and go and go after these security guards to try to get to Brock. It looked really cool. But again, I'm telling you right now, guys, the match is going to be great at Backlash. It will be. Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes will be great at WrestleMania at Backlash. I'm sorry, not WrestleMania Backlash. Thank God it's not that. The match is going to be great at Backlash, but I still don't give a shit. Mainly because of the fact this match should not be happening, and the match does not make any sense whatsoever. And I don't care if anybody says, well, Phil, this was a great segment tonight. This was a great segment tonight. I'm not saying it wasn't. But the match does not make sense. And the match does not make sense, and it's not going to make sense. So, if you guys... Come on now. You know this match does not make any sense. No, this match does not make sense, and if it was going to be Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, wouldn't you want it to be for a freaking championship? Maybe I'm just, looking at things completely different. Maybe I'm just looking at things in a completely wrong way. The match makes no sense to me. And it's always going to make no sense to me, so we're going to try to figure this out. Heading into not WrestleMania Backlash, Phil. Heading into Backlash. If I'm missing something, please let me know. But other than this, nothing's making sense when it comes to this. So, there it is. So Rose gets out of the ring and fights off more security guards. Rose charges Lesnar, but another wave of security guards grabs Cody and drags him to ringside. Lesnar cheerfully watches from the stage before backing up and leaving. The crowd loudly boos. Rose is trapped, but he still fights out of the force, and Rose gets into the ring, and a Cody chant picked up. Rose then spent the entirety of last week throwing out positive platitudes about Brock, but he left one out. Brock can wear his silly cowboy hat all he wants, but with cowboys and grew up with them. And Brock, you're not a real cowboy. Listener, you are a coward. It was a good segment to kick off this feud, right? It was a good segment to really, ignite the feud between Cody and Brock. I'm not discounting that. I'm not discounting that at all. This was a great segment to really set off the feud, right? He looked really Rhodes looked good by beating up all the security guards and everything like that. It was an effective segment. This was probably the best thing all night. This was the best thing all night to me. But the match makes no sense. And that's the thing that I am going to continue to elaborate on, and I'm going to continue to tell you guys, because it is 100% the fact that this match makes no sense. And I want my matches to make sense at pay-per-views. I want things to make sense. I want things to continue on to their storyline, and I want them to actually do well. This match is going to do well. This match is going to sell tickets. This match is going to do what it needs to do. This is the adversity that people want. People wanted adversity for Cody Rhodes going after the World Championship. But this is not the adversity that I think people wanted to see. And if it is, all power to you. But this is not the adversity I wanted to see for Cody on the road to a World Championship. This is just not the way it should have been. So, I don't know. Next match we had Seth Rollins versus The Miz, and for whatever reason, this match cooked. This match was fantastic. Miz and Rollins, no matter how you feel about him, I love Rollins. I love Miz as a whole, but this version of The Miz, I can honestly care less about. Whether you like The Miz or whether you like basically both of them or not, they had good in-ring chemistry together. They do. Seth Rollins won this match. Very likely that he was going to win this match, but I'm just saying he won this thing. And, this to me was just to fill time. Because this match, why have this match? Why did we have this match? Other than just to fill time, honestly, because these two are not in a feud with each other right now. This was just to fill time to me. So I mean, it didn't really mean anything. It wasn't anything of importance, but this was a good match. Again, we're just coasting through Raw. We're coasting through SmackDown. We're coasting all our way to Puerto Rico and Backlash. I'm sorry if you guys feel like I'm being a little bit too harsh on the show, but to me, this is just how I'm taking things. This is how I'm taking the way that the show was being structured and being presented to me on television. Was it a bad show? No. But was it a good show? Also, no. We're coasting. We are coasting our way through. So the crowd once again is chanting, "This is awesome." Miz gets Rollins in the corner and puts him onto the top rope. Miz then sets up a skull crushing finale off the ropes, but Rollins elbows out of it. Rollins miraculously adjusts himself on the top rope and hit a superplex before rolling through into a Falcon Arrow. Rollins connects with the stomp after that and got the win. Miz finally had one of the best matches over the last. Like he good tonight. I'm sorry, I can't freaking speak. Miz was actually really good tonight. I'm not saying that the Miz can't do well in the ring. I'm not. I love Miz. I think Miz is great when he's being utilized as a great talent. But other than that, the man just he was good tonight. And it was probably one of his best matches in over a year or more, honestly, when it comes to all of this. Um, but that's also because it's Seth frickin' Rollins, and Rollins is great. Um, this was a great match, and I'm not saying that it wasn't. I absolutely loved this match. Um, but at the end of the day, this match was to fill time. So, the Undisputed Tag Team Champions and Sami Zayn are backstage with Matt Riddle. And we got serious Matt Riddle tonight. Um, with a little dose of silliness, of course. Spoke. Um, he talked about he was talking about taping up his toe and calling it the toe bro. Um, Owens tells him, just Owens told him no, and Zayn's like, "Well, it's an idea." And how's Owens is like, "Why are you even encouraging this? This is not it." Um, Zayn tells Owens to listen to Riddle, if they are going to work with him. So he says he wants to wrap up his big toe and call it the toe bro. Um, Owens and Zayn look at each other. Riddle says he's only kidding because he is not an idiot. Um, the Bloodline put him through hell. They took away his best friend. They took away his title and put him on the show for 4 months. While he was out, he saw two best friends beat the Usos for those tag titles. Riddle is fired up and wants to make the Bloodline pay. Um, Riddle walks off. Owens tells Zayn that they should listen to Riddle and he walks off. So, we move forward and we have this non-title match between Bobby Lashley and United States Champion Austin Theory. Not bad, but this one was definitely the I wouldn't say the shortest match of the matches that we had tonight, but this was definitely the most, predictable one. To me, at least, because um I saw this disqualification coming from a mile away. If you're going to do a thing between Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed, um, odds are Bronson Reed was going to attack Bobby Lashley, either costing him the match or just, ending it in a disqualification. And a disqualification happened here. Um, Lashley is irate, and he was gonna go put Theory away. And he could not put Theory away just yet. Lashley stalks him in the corner and sizes him up. Theory slowly pulls himself up before rolling to the apron. Theory shoulders Lashley back and goes for a Rolling Thunder dropkick, but Lashley counters into a hurt lock. All of a sudden, Bronson Reed avalanches Lashley into the corner, and the referee calls for the bell. So, Mr. Nice Guy, Bronson Reed, attacks Lashley to send him out of the ring. Reed then comes off the apron with a flying shoulder tackle. Reed then waits for Lashley to get up and avalanches him into the ring post. He then puts Lashley into the ring, and Lashley tried to fight back with the hurt lock, but Theory fights him and hits a Rolling Thunder dropkick. Reed then looks at Theory before turning back to Lashley. Reed has hits Lashley with a Samoan drop before hitting a top rope splash to crush him with the tsunami, and Reed stands tall in the ring. We're most likely going to get Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed at Backlash. I'm fine with that. I absolutely love those two. So give me big, meaty men slapping meat. Bronson Reed should win the United States Championship. He has to win the United States Championship at some point. He just has to. Bronson Reed is ready for championship gold, and the United States Championship is perfect for him to be that first championship on the main roster. You give that to him. You give that to him, and you give that to him with open arms. Bronson Reed is ready for that United States Championship. He's ready. He is absolutely ready for that. So then we have the Trish Stratus thing. Trish Stratus, she's explaining why she did what she did to Becky Lynch. I would believe Trish Stratus more as a heel. And this is just me. I would believe Trish Stratus more as a heel if A, they did not pipe in all of those boos, because you could totally tell that they were piping in boos. And second, was it me, or was she just trying to smile her way through that promo? I don't know about you guys, but Trish Stratus as a heel, it could work. But we need a little bit more from Trish Stratus, and we need Becky Lynch back to sell this feud. I know Becky Lynch is out with a foot injury. I get that. We're pushing this to SummerSlam. I know that. But at the end of the day, Trish Stratus in this day and age, and I love Trish. I love Trish to death. But Trish Stratus is not going to be able to carry this feud on her own. We need Becky Lynch back. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm saying I'm sorry a lot in this stream. But to me, this is just how I'm feeling about all of this and how it's being portrayed on WWE programming. I love Trish. Trish is fantastic. I think Trish did all the right things in her promo tonight. The promo tonight was fantastic. The promo tonight was great. She hit all her points. She did everything that she needed to do in order to get it done. And she really did well in her promo out there tonight. With the words, but the smiling and the constant, it's the smiling to me. It's the smiling to me, and I understand she might be a cheerful person. She's back. She's happy to be back and everything like that. But man, if you're gonna be a heel, be a fucking heel and not smile and get the promo done and over with and get the fuck out. But overall, the promo was good. it sets up great stuff heading into Trish versus Becky Lynch. It's a no-brainer, as we have Lita, you know, healing up and everything. Uh, it's just good storytelling. I'm not saying it's not, but man, could have done things a little bit better to me. But overall, not bad. We're starting this off right now, and once Becky is able to come back from the foot injury, which I believe is just really for the storytelling purposes, we'll see where things go. But go over everything that she said here in the promo. So Trish is in the ring, and she wants to take us on a little bit of a history lesson. When she first came to WWE, women's wrestling was a joke. Trish did to single-handedly change everything. She brought credibility to a non-existent women's division. Some will say that it was her and Lita, but there's no way it was her. Trish says that she was the women's division. She was the trailblazer, and she was the first woman to ever main event Monday Night Raw. She was the first woman to make people care about the women's division as a whole. Without Trish Stratus, there would be no women's revolution or women on the main event of WrestleMania. When Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey were in the main event, people chanted, "This is awesome." They should have been chanting, "Thank you." You wouldn't believe that if the Becky Lynch would have Becky Lynch is a joke. I'm gonna pause right there. Right there, at that point in time, perfect. Stop. Right there. I will say, and this might be a little bit of a hot take, but this is OTB. I'm allowed to say it. Charlotte, Lynch, and Ronda, to me, while it was, women's main event at WrestleMania, I really wasn't. It's not like the match was bad, but I thought the match could have been a lot better. The only reason why I think it really could have been a lot better was because, hello, Charlotte did not need to be a part of that freaking match to begin with. Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch at that WrestleMania would have been a perfect main event. It would have been perfectly fine. Charlotte Flair did not need to be a part of it, and nobody's going to tell me otherwise. Charlotte's involvement honestly kind of made the match, just good triple threat. It's a good triple threat. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. I thought the match was good. Wasn't great, but it was okay. And again, might be a little bit of a hot take, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. I find with people disagreeing with me most likely happens anyway, so who knows? But at that point, this promo perfectly fine. I thought everything was kind of just, in her promo. So Trish sat back and watched for a while, but after a while, she started thinking Becky Lynch believed in her own hype. Trish popped in and buddied up with Becky to see if it was true. Not once did Becky thank her for what Trish did for her. Becky is very convincing. She convinced even Lita, who ate out of the palm of her hands. Lita became Becky's little sidekick. Trish is nobody's sidekick. Trish shows herself off and says she is not a sidekick. Trish then had to take Lita out put her out of her misery. She needs Lita out of the picture because she needs to be crystal clear that the person that screwed Lynch out of the title was Trish Stratus. Trish asked Becky if she remembers putting her arm around her shoulders and saying that they had a good try before saying she was her friend. Trish says Trish is not her friend, and there will not be a next time. Trish decided to make things right and took out the man. The crowd boos. Trish then says she doesn't care about what the crowd thinks. She wasn't going to let Becky Lynch or the fans rewrite history for her. She is not a nostalgia act, a childhood fantasy, or a sidekick. She is the greatest of all time and the number figure in the history of the WWE. Trish is here to make sure nobody forgets that. She drops the microphone and walks off to boos from the crowd. Again, I'm not mad at this promo at all. She hit all the points, and there were great points at that. She was a great. It was a strong promo by Trish, and it set up for things in the future when it comes to Trish and Becky, and possibly, who knows, but possibly we can see Trish and Lita again. Who knows? If they want to do that, if they want to do another match between Trish and Lita, go for it. But Trish is not the only person that needs to be carrying on this feud, and I know Lita will. I know Lita's going to be back at some point, and I know that that Becky is definitely going to be back to carry this feud. Not to carry this feud, but to carry the other half of the feud with Trish, so that we can get this thing to SummerSlam sailing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just the women's division as a whole, man. I just don't trust the women's division. And that might just be a me thing. That might just be a me thing. And I'm apologizing to you guys if you feel like I am being harsh. I am being harsh only because of the fact that I want to see this division thrive. I want to see the women's of Raw and SmackDown thrive. I think Trish did great tonight. I'm not saying she didn't. She did all her points, and it was great points at that, and she did fantastic in the promo. But I need a little bit more from everybody to get things in gear heading into SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is a long ways away. We are in April. SummerSlam is in August. How long is Becky going to be out? How long is Lita going to be out? What's going to happen here between the next 4 months to get to Becky versus Trish? Only time will tell. So we see Cody on stage talking to Kathy Kelly. Alright, Cody. Cody says that he is happy that he gets his match against Brock Lesnar in Puerto Rico in 3 weeks. But he's also confused. Rhodes went off to fight 20 security guards, but Brock Lesnar did nothing. Where were the security guards when Lesnar did that to him just a few weeks ago? Rhodes has to fight back and smash the Beast. Then we had this random ass women's tag team match. I did not give a single shit about this. I'm sorry. Who gave a shit about this tag team match? Candice and Mia Yim versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. This was supposedly for a number one contenders match for Friday, as the winner of this match would face Raquel and Liv Morgan. on Friday for the women's championship. Uh, Chelsea and Sonya won this, and now they're getting the match for Friday. Um, so Michin and Deville go at it. Michin hits a Hurricane Rana followed by some chops and punches. Green then attacks Mia Yim and nearly hits her partner. Uh, LeRae and Michin hit double drop kicks. Mia then strikes away at Deville before hitting a code blue. But Green breaks it up. LeRae and Green fight out of the ring. DeVille then rolls Meechin up and her feet are on the ropes, but referee catches it. Green then blind tags and hits Mia Yim with an unprettier for the win. DeVille and Green go face to face with Raquel and Liv in Liv's face, and Liv is furious, so she tries to run after them, but Raquel held her at bay, and we get the match on Friday. Liv and Raquel versus Sonya and Chelsea. Liv and Raquel will retain, so it is what it is. This was just for nothing, honestly. This was just a participation type of thing, and this was just a waste time. Nobody cares about this, and if you do, power to you, but nobody really cares. We had a WWE draft segment with Elias, Baron Corbin, the Street Profits, Rick Boogs, and Akira Tozawa. Great. I wonder where they're going. I needed this draft segment tonight when the draft is legitimately next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. Yay. I didn't give a shit. The Usos are shown elsewhere backstage. Solo stands behind them. The Usos love that the LWO is trying to step up, only to find out that they're the twos and the Usos are the ones. They're looking forward to proving themselves in Puerto Rico. The Judgment Day make their way to the ring for the main event, which is next. Six-man tag team match, the Judgment Day and Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio taking on the team of Matt Riddle and the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Very good tag team match, honestly. This was very short for what it was, like about a 12-13 minute match, honestly. And I say short because that's usually short for a Raw main event at this point. Especially with it being a six-man tag, you thought it would be a little bit more something special, right? But in the end, Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn pick up the win. Good stuff here. It was mainly the chaos afterwards that people were really going to be talking about after this. So, Mysterio quickly rolls Zayn up for a 2 count. Zayn then immediately floors him with a Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Owens on the apron, and he reaches out. Zayn tags Owens in, and Owens heads to the top rope for a Swanton Bomb, but Mysterio got the knees up. Balor then tags in and hits Owens with the shotgun dropkick into the corner. Balor then goes for the coup de grace, but Owens moves out of the way. Zayn then tags in. Owens hits Balor with a stunner. Zayn backs up into the corner and Priest runs in, but Owens took him out with a stunner as well. Zayn crushes Balor with a haluva kick. Riddle wants in, so he gets tagged in and Riddle heads to the top rope and hits a floating bro on Balor for the win. The Bloodline immediately hit the ring and start beating down on Owens, Zayn, and Riddle because Judgment Day cannot do what they were sent out to do. Rey Mysterio and the LWO then run out to even up the odds. The Judgment Day has joined in as well, and it's just, fucking chaos at this point. With the Judgment Day, the Bloodline, Owens, Sami, and KO, and LWO all over the place. It's basically faction warfare here on Monday Night Raw, which I actually do like, honestly. I hope WWE continues to make more factions because faction warfare is fantastic. AEW does it very well, and other promotions have these faction warfares. So WWE continue to make these stables because faction warfares are what fans like. So continue doing this. So we see everybody just kicking each other's ass at this point. Judgment Day joined in. The Bloodline soon retreat. Ray hit Dominic with a 619 before Owens hit Priest with a back suplex on the commentary table. The commentary table did not break. Owens, Zayn, and Riddle with the LWO as Raw comes to an end. So a very good main event match. They built up. It was built up quite well throughout the rest of the night. Gave some proper for everything that was going on. And a good brawl at the end of it with everything, with the baby faces standing tall. So it wasn't a bad episode of Raw. It was a very solid episode of Monday Night Raw. But I was just bored through some of it, mainly because of the fact that A, I'm freaking tired, and B, we're kind of just coasting into Backlash. It's shaping up to be a great show, honestly. But at the end of the day, it's really the WWE draft that people are going to be focusing on and people are going to be wanting before it is all said and done. So it was a good Raw. It was okay. It was okay. I'm not going to say it's good. It was okay. It was an okay episode of Monday Night Raw, and we'll see where things go from there. I appreciate you guys for being here. I understand that this probably wasn't the best and most entertaining episode of the Raw post show here on OTB. And I'm sorry for that. I know. I know these shows alone aren't really the most entertaining, but I hope you guys did like my views on some of the stuff that we talked about tonight. Tuesday's talk, I don't know what we're going to be doing. Hopefully we'll figure something out. If not, if we don't have an episode on Tuesday, that's perfectly okay. I'll just book something for a weekend show. Honestly, we'll possibly do a weekend show if I'm not feeling too well enough to do a Tuesday's talk. I'm gonna try to wean in more weekend episodes anyway, mainly because of the fact I think a lot more people will be opt to do weekend episodes anyway more than Tuesdays, maybe because Tuesdays it's kind of just a slow day, and honestly, like who really wants to do a show on Tuesday? So if you guys are fine with that, I'll see how I'm feeling on Tuesday. If I'm okay, we'll do it. If not, we'll see you guys during the weekend. And obviously you'll have us for Wednesday's Dynamite and Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. And we'll see where things go from there, man. It's we'll see how we get through things here for Backlash, and the WWE draft is coming up, so that's going to be interesting. We're going to be covering all of that, so stay tuned for that, and we'll continue to see what happens as we draw closer to Backlash. So thank you so much for being a part of this show. We appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe to your channel, do all the good stuff, and we'll talk to you possibly tomorrow, if not Wednesday, for the AEW Dynamite post show on OTB. Talk to you guys soon, man. Peace out and have a good rest of the night.